Bam! Jayson Waller here with the BAM podcast. That's right, business and money podcast. You want to make money? You want to conquer business? You want to go ahead and get that mindset right to take you to the next level and level up? You got to listen to the show. We're going to have all kinds of guests on there, billionaires, millionaires, athletes, actors, you name it. We're going to have them on here. They're going to be talking about their success, their struggles, their life, their hardship. I'm going to talk about my success, my struggle, my life, my hardship. So tune in. Bam!
You got a lot of business things going on, but I'm an indifferent guy. Like, I like to talk business, investing, and all those different things. But what I find way more interesting with high performing people like yourself are like hobbies, like the real side, right? Like, what are you doing
Right.
in life? Cool. You like the UFC? I like the UFC.
Right.
Personally, me, I don't like going around like get your ass off the couch watching Netflix. I'm like, yeah, I don't watch Netflix often. But when I watch a show, I watch the whole thing, start to finish, right?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm addicted. I'm there for 4 days. So
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, what do you like to do for fun in Charlotte? That city's exploded over the last couple of years.
so I actually can't stay in Charlotte. We moved back. I moved here in high school, met my high school sweetheart, had 4 kids, and now we have 2 grandkids. But we moved to Birmingham, Michigan, which I fucking loved, in August of 18, and then came back in August of 21. I did a deal for solar with the Detroit Lions at the time. It was the first NFL stadium that got solar through us. And so I moved up there, made a lot of relationships with a lot of the NFL players there. And I'm a Lions fan, so naturally it was cool. But I started making relationships with Calvin Johnson, Barry Sanders, having him on the show, doing TV commercials with Barry. It was surreal. It was great. And then my second oldest daughter wanted to come back to North Carolina, finish high school, and then go to college. She's at Bama now. So we came back. I'm not a huge fan of being here. I mean, the people are nice, but it's the South. And to me, a lot of the South people limit themselves. Their goals aren't really high. People accept things. It's slower. I like to be around, people with high, net worth and self-worth, that I can be challenged, that I can want to grow. There's not a lot of that here. So it's a little slow for me. But hobbies here, I coach youth football, multiple teams. My son is a quarterback. He's played probably 7 or 8 years. He's 12 of, competitive flag. He's played 2 years of tackle. And there's about 5 or 6 kids together that play on the same team, that I move them around in different leagues. And they're very diverse because my son grew up in like a bubble with a bunch of, like fucking
Calvin Johnson is, catching the ball from him.
Well, true story. Barry Sanders coached him at my house at his birthday party 2 years ago in Michigan. Came over and coached a game against Jack Fox, the punter for the Lions, and White Boy Rick was the ref in my backyard. I had a huge football field back there. So that was my son's 11th birthday party. And I said, listen, dude, it doesn't get fucking better than this. It's only downhill from here. So, he had Barry last year, because it was a year later, sent him a message, say, hey, Christian, hope you're well. And then he had Ma Ra St. Brown send him a message the other day for his birthday. His birthday's coming up. So I've got some connections to where, he gets to live that lifestyle. But I'm real big in him hanging out with people with a lot of diversity, people in different backgrounds and, that have different lifestyles. So I don't want him to be soft. And so he's got a group of 5 or 6 kids that are from all kinds of different backgrounds and income and growing up styles. And, one, couple don't have dads, couple don't, like, it's just tough. Right. But I bring these boys in, they work together. There's unity. There's, a brotherhood. They go out there and they try to dominate. Look, we win a lot of times. We lose very few times. We've lost a couple. But we just had a sweet ass victory this past weekend. And we play this weekend coming up in a playoff and a championship in a league. And it's exciting because there's a lot of animosity between us and another team. And that team's much bigger than us and supposed to win. And we beat the shit out of them. So it was exciting. And my son and this other kid are kind of like an arch nemesis. They don't like each other. They played on the same team last year. And my son was having to share time at quarterback with this kid. And like, it was bad, but this kid threw a lot of interceptions and we lit their ass on fire. And it was good.
Let's go. Yeah. It helps having that circle of legends that you listed off. Hate to break the bad news to you, but I'm a diehard Packers fan.
Oh,
so
we can end this now if you'd like.
Yeah.
So I'm a diehard Lions fan. You're fucked for like the next 5 years.
Hey, we'll see. I thought that with Aaron Rodgers as well, and
Come
then
on, dude.
we obviously
Jordan
saw.
Love, like, come on. You know that's not Aaron
Yeah,
Rodgers.
I know. There, he had one pretty decent game against Philly when Rodgers got knocked out, and I was like, yeah, but he threw 5 yard passes, and Philly still won. And anyway, that's conversation
So
for another
how do you
day.
feel about it? You think they're going to be okay?
I think that no,
No.
no. I
You think the
think
Lions will win the division? Do you think they're the team to beat now? Are you buying into the
I
hype?
I wish I could. I wish I could. I like the coach. He's still there, right? He drinks like
We beat y'all's ass 3 times in a row, though. Like it wasn't even close. Like it was an ass
I,
whooping.
yeah. Here's what I think is good for the division. Well, I'm a Buckeye as well, so I
And I'm a
like.
Michigan fan. Fuck.
I know, man. This might have to end this shit right now. um, which I mean, yeah, you got me right now. We'll have
Yeah,
to.
I've got the cards in hand right now. That's
Yeah,
correct. Usually not the case.
yeah.
Usually it's complete opposite. But lately, yeah, I feel pretty good.
We'll see about. So the reason why I bring that up is Justin Fields. I think he's got to really prove it in Chicago this year, which I think he can. But
So
he's
that's
got
the
that.
ultimate homer pick for you. You love Justin Fields.
I don't love him, but he's the epitome of. I think what you'll see either like he's going to be an elite quarterback or he's going to be an RG3 where like, dude, you can't run that much and get hit and you're going to get crushed. Or you're going to be solid, right? I think the most talented team last year in the NFL I thought was the Vikings. I just think that unfortunately you have this quarterback named Kirk Cousins that's never going to win you a Super Bowl. Uh, so I think in and out, I think Vikings on paper and the talent on the field was superb, but Kirk Cousins. So Detroit, I mean, it's a toss up. I think it's going to be a grindy division. And dude, you've seen it. I'm a diehard football fan. Like those are the divisions that usually win it all. So
Yeah,
we'll
I
see.
think I agree that Minnesota has a lot of stars, but they don't have the trenches. And these games now are won in the trenches. And Detroit's got an O line that's solid. And when you have an O line, you know, being a Packers fan, when you have a good O line, everybody plays better. Made Aaron Rodgers, oh, he's one of the best ever. Had he not had the O line, he would have been really good, not one of the best ever. When you give that guy 5 seconds, he makes magic happen. You give him two, it's a whole different Aaron Rodgers. And I think that's what you're seeing with the Vikings is their O line is not very good. And that's why they have all these weapons and they can't do anything with it, where Detroit built their O line really good. So we don't have these superstar weapons, and it makes Goff look like he's a Pro Bowler because he
Yeah,
has a great O line. He's got 5 seconds every time. I mean,
yeah,
you can quarterback in the NFL 5 seconds. You go find somebody open. Like 5 seconds is hard to cover a receiver.
yeah.
So, that's to me, that's the key. But it's funny you bring up how do you think the new quarterback CJ Stroud's going to do?
Man. First off, shout out to one of my buddies, Zach. He has the NIL management company and here in Columbus. So I've thankfully been able to create some rapport with some of these guys and helping them get involved in, acquiring assets off the field and
Yeah,
whatnot. So that's been really cool to see. I don't know if you believe in athletes getting paid and being able
absolutely. I
to.
do. We were Aiden Hutchinson's first deal,
Oh,
my own
nice.
company. Yeah. So yeah, I'm a big fan of
Michigan
that.
to Detroit, right?
Yeah.
That's a
As that was a homer perfect pick.
that's
And
awesome,
he
man.
sponsored my book. He promoted my book, and he was an ambassador for my old company. So
Hell yeah. One of my I'll go back to your question here in a moment, but Jake Butt, he's one of my
oh
buddies.
yeah, there you
Uh
go, Michigan tight end.
yeah, he's here in Columbus and had a flawless career in Michigan and then he just had some unfortunate injuries and situations in the NFL, but dude, great guy, like one of the hardest working dudes. He's on TV and stuff now doing broadcasting. He's doing some investing in some other things. But CJ Stroud, I don't know. He played very well. Like that Georgia game, he definitely proved it for me. It just he had so many weapons, and I'm like, you you never had that Heisman moment. You never had that chip on the shoulder moment, but you also never had that valley moment either. So I think in the NFL, I think if you're just consistent, you can be elite, the elite of the elites, the Patrick Mahomes, the Tom Brady's, the Aaron Rodgers. It's like you can make anything happen, but I think you can absolutely win a Super Bowl if you're a top 15 quarterback with a great line on both sides, and you stay healthy. So I think he has a shot for sure. I think going into warm weather, I think being down in Houston, I think it's good for him. I think he could do well. I know that's not really directly answer your question. Yeah, what I like is that whole NIL stuff. That stuff is absolutely fascinating to me. I think it gives these guys so many options, and that can be good and bad, of course. I just think that we're going to start seeing massive, uh, kind of like a revolution happening in college football and the NFL with what we saw with Lamar Jackson, like negotiating his own deal. And then we're going to have some of these players. We're already seeing it now, but give it like another year or two. These guys are going to be coming out. At least speaking on behalf of some Ohio State players, dude, they're going to be coming out of college with properties, cash flowing, with brand deals, with equity in deals. I'm not saying it's all going to work out. I'm just that's super cool to me. So if you go get drafted in the first round, you get a rookie deal, you get paid. Going into maybe that second deal, you might have some leverage. You might say, well, if you're not paying me this, like I got 7 businesses and 70 doors and these other cool things going on. Obviously, it could be the opposite where you lose it all, but that's what I find most interesting in athletics right now.
Yeah, I agree. I'm a big fan of that. Obviously, if they're going to put seats in the stadium and everyone else is going to make money, then the athletes should make money. One last thing on the Ohio State Michigan saga. So, me and my son got to go to the Michigan Ohio State game 2 years ago in Michigan when we beat you guys, right? Aiden had like 3 sacks or something. That was
Not
the
that you
big,
have it memorized or anything.
yeah. Not that I've memorized, but the reason I bring that up is we showed up early. So my financial advisor is also Jim Harbaugh's financial advisor. So we got to hang out in Jim Harbaugh's office. We got to walk around with the coaches. We got to go through the pregame warmups. We were in the locker room for the speech. We ran out to the stadium with the team. Like I'm talking next level shit. We got to do all that. Got all videotaped. It's one of the best experience besides doing a round table with Donald Trump. That was the best experience I've ever had. Right, like fucking next level.